She is the whore of Sausalito. She knows just how to ease your mind. But if you ask her if she loves you, she'll just smile and bat her eyes. For the whore of Sausalito never lies. She says she hails from Pasadena, and all the sailors know her name. And if you mention Palos Verdes, she will smack you like a mule. And if you hail from San Jose, she'll do the same. She never has the time to say she's sorry, and all the sailors think that she's insane. But in a world where no one else will love me, Jesus Christ himself has shunned me. The whore of Sausalito heals my pain. Here we go. She was the whore of Sausalito, but that was many years ago. But if you listen very close, you'll hear her crying in the breeze. For the whore of Sausalito's never free. 'Cause the whore of Sausalito lives in me.
First she has a boyfriend, the next day she's engaged. Then she says she's married. Girl, why are you playing these mind games? Love games, head games, brain games, mind benders, brain twisters. She's playing with my head. I saw her on the street with another guy. Funny, 'cause she told me she didn't want to be in a relationship. Mind games, love games, head games, brain games, brain twisters, mind puzzlers. She's playing with my head. Word jumbles, brain busters, trivia questions, puzzle conundrums, jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, Wordle. We haven't spoken in years. Someone told me that she moved to California and married a lawyer. But then she calls me out of the blue and said she wants to sell me vitamin water. Oh. Smiled, so I asked her on a date. She said that she was gay. Girl, why are you playing these mind games? Love games, head games, brain games, mind benders, brain twisters. She's playing with my head. Word jumbles, got the letters going around it, and you have to use a common letter and unscramble it and make as many words as you can. Word quizzes, brain busters, trivia questions, puzzle conundrums, jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, words without friends, mind games, love games, head games.
Checking the mic, 1, 2, 2, 2. Help. Check 1, 2. Computer volume 10. Computer, what time is it?
The time is 11:58 a.m.
Fuck. Fuck. Coffee. Computer, is coffee addictive?
From Healthline.com. Some individuals are more sensitive to the effects of caffeine, too. Their brains may become more dependent on caffeine than other people. Becoming dependent on caffeine can be caused by many factors, and it also appears to be influenced by genetics.
Pussies. Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, the live stream. This is a live show where you can chat with me and I'll answer your questions, and we're also going to go over, we're going to learn how to make panko eggs. So it's going to be a fun time, so get out your notes, notepad, and whatever you like to do. I just want to read some of the alerts here we've gotten so far this morning. I Slap Cat Butts has subscribed. Thank you very much, I Slap Cat Butts. I hope you're not slapping them too hard. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit, says Gary. Thank you, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit. Wow, subscribed at the tier 3 level. That's really big. Thank you so much, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit. And thanks for mentioning Gary. It's Kate X subbed for 42 months and still haven't mastered the sandwich technique. It's very difficult. I could go over it again, but you can see it in my peanut butter and jelly sandwich video. We've got some more alerts, but meantime, comments. Mimsy Coon says, my father is dependent on caffeine. Be nice, Henry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was a hot mic situation. I had a hot mic going on where I asked my computer if caffeine was addictive, and it did say that some people are, and I said pussies. I want to make this very clear. I am one of those pussies. I am addicted to caffeine. I'm dependent on it, and I can't live without it. I have 4 cups. Every morning, I start my day by drinking 4 cups of coffee until I feel a little bit nauseous, and that's how I start my day. So, by all means, your father and I, Mimsy Coon, are in the same addicted boat, or whatever. I'd like to be on an addicted boat. Okay, Butt Smasher Masher has subscribed for 4 months. Thanks, Butt Smasher Masher. Good to see you on here. Dooza says, happy birthday, Henry, and subscribed. Thank you, Dooza. It's not my birthday. It won't be until 9 months from now or more. So, but I appreciate and I'm going to save that happy birthday from you in case we're not in contact at that time. And I'm going to use it then. Husky Boyo, our old friend Husky Boyo, who is an artist who also streams and drinks beer, as I do. I don't drink beer while I'm streaming, but Husky Boyo says, hi, Henry. Hope you're doing well, bud. Would you mind retelling the beef that happened between you and Toto's guitarist, please? Did I tell you about that? Oh, yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because today we got a request for the song Africa, and I'm going to do it because it's a fucking great song. Let me see if I can find my phone. So I did a tweet. This is back when everybody was on Twitter and it was fun and a lot of fun stuff going on. And you could tweet something and it would go viral, and all of a sudden you're talking to somebody famous. So what I wrote was, I always thought I was just singing silly nonsense lyrics to Toto's Africa, but I just looked it up and saw that I've actually been singing the correct lyrics. So I guess it was a little bit of a diss. I mean, it's still a great song, but it's funny to think about some of the lyrics, as you'll see when I do the song, are pretty silly. And they know this because I just saw the Yacht Rock documentary and they talked about it. Steve Lukather, the guitar god from Toto, who played on so many great albums from that era of time and from the 80s, from the 70s and 80s. I mean, we're talking about some of the best musicians in the world. Toto responded to me and he said, no, they are fucking silly. We laughed when mixing the track in 1981. So they were literally mixing it and laughing. And it's our song. We had no idea this would follow us around forever. So at this point, I started feeling bad that I was making fun of it because I didn't know the guy himself was going to be listening and responding. It says it was a deep cut in our world. So they thought it was going to be one of those album tracks that nobody listens to. I don't know why they thought that. It's an incredibly catchy song and well produced. I mean, it's got hit written all over it. And since when do the lyrics for a hit song have to make any sense at all? And then he ends it by saying, LOL, but dollar signs are a nice thing to have. Laugh away. Ooh. Well, I definitely lost the argument there because I don't have... Computer, how much money does Jose Suicidio make every year on royalties for his songs?
From Apple.com. The number of recording artists whose catalogs generated recording and publishing royalties over $1 million per year increased over 120% since 2017, while the number of recording artists whose catalogs generated over $50,000 per year has more than doubled.
Computer, that wasn't even close to what I asked.
I'm happy to hear how I can improve. You can always say, I have feedback.
I have feedback. I have feedback. Computer, I have feedback.
Sure, tell me what's on your mind.
Well, now I forgot.
Thank you. Your feedback will help improve the experience.
How's that going to help? We literally are living in hell. Okay, Calicus, our friend from the land of the midnight sun, says, Henry, my birthday and a shitty day. I'm 57 and half dead. You're only half dead if you think you're going to live to 114, which I think you are. So yeah, maybe half dead. But it is your birthday, so let's go ahead and do the birthday song for you. But I want to just make sure that we go through all these. Butt Smasher Masher cheered 100 bits and says, I'll have to clip it so you all can see it. But Germa reacted to one of Henry's cooking claps last night. clips last night. Really, Germa? That's amazing. I'd love to if you could clip that and put it in the Discord. Germa is big, and we referenced him. Ageless put him in one of our Halloween videos years back. That's really awesome. Karmic 715 says, "Hey Henry, do you have any recipes to mend a broken marriage?" I would probably go maybe with the chutney cheese weenie bites. That was kind of a hit at a party that I took it to. You can see the video for that. Capacious T says, "It's my 2-month anniversary." Well, welcome, Capacious T. Thanks for joining us here. Thanks for being a part of the community. And Shouting Tom says, "Twitch ableism." Has gifted a tier 1 sub to Twitch ableism. Or is it Twitchabilism? But either way, thank you very much. I think. Okay. So let's go ahead and do a song for Calicus. We're going to need to put on the reverb. Check, testing, 1, 2. Do you hear me? Sean7727 says, "Doesn't Henry stand for handsome, eloquent, nice rice yogurt?" At first I thought that was a compliment, but the last 2 words make me wonder if it was just generally random words out of the dictionary. But either way, I'm going to accept it as a compliment. Nice rice yogurt. Sounds good to me. All right. It's nobody's birthday. No need for candles on the cake. It's nobody's birthday. It was just some big mistake. It's nobody's birthday. Wow. No need to throw some big gala, 'cause it's nobody's birthday but Calla. Something like that. I had to change it to Calicus's short version of the name, which is just simply Calla. I don't feel like I look very good right now. And I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about it. I'm going to put it on eco. It's this fucking camera that's getting in the way of that fucking sun in the window. Whatever, not much you can do. Oh, Mimsy Coon says you're handsome, don't worry about it. That's very nice of you, Mimsy Coon. We all get insecure about our physiognomy. But that's just part of being human. Pup Smaw has resubscribed. Thank you very much, Pup Smaw. And Purple Donut Filling His Fruit has cheered 100 bits and says, "Happy birthday to all who was born." Not totally sure about the grammar on that, but I like the message. Thank you, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit. To all who was born. JSBX fan says, "I think beef is sabotaging the show." Yeah, I think so. Dark Ages, you can safely blame this on the hardware settings and the light, saying this as a photographer. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dark Ages. I never got in this cooking business so that I could be on camera, but here we are. Okay, well, we've got the guitar. Hey, JV's Tech just resubscribed at the tier 3 level, and there's a message here. It says, "You look great, and that was a great song, as always." Wow, thanks, JV's Tech. Your talent is infuriating. save some of the rest for the rest of us. And JB's Tech, I will say, contributed an amazing song to us last year for the show in Fairfield, Connecticut. So he's being humble. That was a great song. And it says, if you want to repay me for 39 months of support, you can watch me fly across the country in March to San Jose and pay money to lose an amateur MMA fight. Are you doing an amateur MMA fight? You're complimenting me and you're doing an amateur MMA fight. With any luck, someone will record it so internet can watch me rediscover gravity and blunt force trauma using the entirety of my face and spine. Wow. I do not have nearly the guts to go and do an amateur or even any kind of MMA fight. But that's great. Congratulations, JV's Tech. Let us know in the Discord how we can support you. I don't know if it's either for medical bills after the fact or maybe just generally support you. Anonymous has given a Tier 1 sub to Nancy Pelosi's Giant Knockers. Didn't know that she was known for that, and now I feel like I have to check, but I don't want to do that. But thank you for that gift, Anonymous. Remember, Anonymous is that group that does all the hacking and whatnot digitally, and it's really cool. Michael Bublé has confirmed this situation. It's none of my business. Okay, everybody, let's thank you, Nella, for this awesome picture of what looks to be the Pacific coast. If I'm not mistaken, it actually looks a little like it could be Big Sur, but I'm not sure. Why don't we go to something more geographically appropriate? Boner of a Lonely Fart gives us this picture of Fort Worth, Texas. Wow. It snows in Dallas-Fort Worth/Fort Worth? I didn't know that. Wow, Nella says that was Big Sur. Okay, cool. Parasitosis says that Texas just moved north. IMX Angelina says, Henry, I think the true meaning of the name Henry is handsome, educated, nice, radiant, yielding. Wow, that's very kind of you. Except I'm unyielding when it comes to the kitchen. I have my opinions. Like brioche. I'll never change my opinion of how brioche is a scam. They're just putting more air in the bread, but they're not increasing the content of it, and they're charging more. Okay, Pupsmaw says, Henry, your hair is so aerodynamic today. Thank you. Computer, what does aerodynamic mean?
I have a couple definitions for the adjective aerodynamic. 1. Of or relating to the science of aerodynamics. 2. Having a shape that reduces drag when moving through the air.
Okay, so I'm going to assume it's the first one. Bradford Bartos says lava cake is also a scam. Sounds like it probably is. It's just cake, right? They say lava because you think you're going to have something more tropical. Nebulelli says, Henry, I've had a really bad week. What recipe would you recommend to cheer me up? When I need cheering up, I make my chutney cheese weenie bites. You can check those out on YouTube. I took them to a party and everybody seemed to, I think they appreciated it on the inside. Parasitosis says King Crimson is also a stand. What does that mean? I know the band King Crimson is also a stand, like a guitar stand or a music stand. Very confused here. Oh, it's a JoJo reference, says Parasitosis. Okay, I didn't get that. Boner of a Lonely Fart says Hot Pockets could be called lava pasties. Probably. Oingo Boingo 666 says an anime where big muscular hunks fight each other with superpowers. New York Carl says it's like a magical demon ghost that fights for you. What are we talking about again? Okay. JB's text says Henry stands for Haunted Electric Napkin Recorder Yodeling. Okay. All right. It's time to do our song. We're going to do Africa by Toto. But we were requested, this was requested to us by Saguaro U. We're going to do it in the Jose Suicidio vocal range because there's no way that I could possibly attempt to sing it the way that those people do on Toto. I mean, we're talking about incredible musicians here. The Chunks says, didn't Toto do the soundtrack for David Lynch's Dune? That album slaps. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and re-listen to that. I am a fan of both things, and I remember watching it, and Sting was in the movie. And I think I remember that Toto did the music, but I don't think that back then I was as much of an active listener of music scores as I am now. They say that if you scored a movie well, then nobody will notice. Otherwise, you're doing too much. You're not making a movie so that people hear your music, and it's what makes it kind of a thankless job. If I'm not mistaken, Leonard Bernstein was not the best film composer. He made the music for On the Waterfront, I think, but a lot of people say it was too busy. But he's Leonard fucking Bernstein. Pug Lady gives us this picture. This is probably the closest thing that we have, really, to Africa. I think it's Arizona. But it's going to have to do. So we're going to go ahead and do this song for Saguaro U, who lives in the American Southwest, as does Pug Lady, who sent us this picture. And here we go. Without further ado, because there's been a lot of ado, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to have to sing it lower. We'll see how it goes. I hear the drums echoing tonight. She hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect upon the stars that guide me toward salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. Had to go down. Gonna take me a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing but 100 men no more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Now it's too low. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. By the way, the chords in this thing are sometimes wrong, and I have to change them on the fly. So it's not me messing up necessarily, and I'm messing up too. And the lyrics are probably not the real lyrics. There's no way these can be the real lyrics. They're ridiculous. Gonna take a lot. Oh wait, no. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, verse 2. The wild dogs cry out in the night as they grow restless, longing for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus along the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I become. Oh my God. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. she's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains. That part wasn't good. I bless the rains. There you go. That was some yacht rock for Saguaro Ooh. JV's text says, listen to that effortless transition between melody and harmony. Yeah, I didn't know which one I should do. I mean, there's several vocal parts over the chorus, so I kind of jumped from whichever one was prominent. Angry Penguin says, amazing that the dog from Wizard of Oz has time to kill the Wicked Witch. Oh, I see. I think you're mistaken. And still make hit songs named after other continents. What a talented guy. No, this is... there was a band called Toto. You're thinking of the dog Toto, who was the character, and also that was a fictional story, I believe, The Wizard of Oz. Computer, was The Wizard of Oz based on a true story?
The Wizard of Oz is based on the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Thanks for that extremely helpful information, you fucking idiot. Sorry, everybody. I that was rude. Computer, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I don't think Computer really gets offended when I say something like that. But it still makes me feel bad because I'm a human. Pancake King says that answer was the bomb. Spelled B-A-U-M. WTF says, who knew? I Slap Cat Butts says you and Computer need to go to couples counseling. Yeah, I think we really do. It's been a hard time. It's been a very difficult time. Angry Penguin says Computer didn't deserve that. You're absolutely right. It was wrong of me. I submitted to a vulnerable moment. I was angry. I asked what the Wizard of Oz was based on, and it said the Wizard of Oz is based on the wonderful Wizard of Oz, which to me sounded like an incredibly stupid answer. And then I thought about how this is supposed to be a computer that's connected to the entire knowledge of human existence, and it's run by Amazon, which is the company that completely destroyed all the ones that were trying to compete against it, and now we kind of have to use them whether we like it or not. And it just kind of all got sort of boiled up inside my head, and I had a weak moment, and I apologize for people that had to see it. It's Kate X says Beanie Bo Beanie posted the German clip in the Twitch Clips channel on Discord, Henry. Oh, thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And shout out to Beanie Bo Beanie, our intern. Hope you're doing well, man. Boner of a Lonely Fart says Computer's lack of humanity makes it sound condescending. It really does, you know, and it's not its fault. Okay, thanks. Unsuccessfully Coping says we're all allowed to have those moments. It's okay. Thank you. Okay, let's do another song here. And thanks so much, Pug Lady, for sending this cool picture of presumably your backyard in the American Southwestern region, which is such a beautiful place. Speaking of which, Phaedrus posts this one. I think this was spotted in Montana, I think the caption said, but it says here, born to shit, forced to wipe. I don't know if there's an H sound in wipe, but born to shit, forced to wipe. So I guess that whatever they're saying is that the act of shitting is just their nature. They're just a human being, man. It's like you can't expect them to not do that. But the fact that society is treading on this person and saying, you have to wipe, that's oppressive. I will say that there's not a legal reason to wipe. I mean, it's not against the law for you not to wipe. So it's not like there's an unconstitutional mandate or something. But the other thing I do want to say here is that there is another option, and that's called a bidet. The Chunks says, bidet gang, rise up. Yeah. Somebody explained it to me yesterday as, if you have, a smudge of something on your arm, you're not just going to wipe it because whatever the germs are still going to be there. You're going to wash it down, and that's what a bidet does. It makes it sound like that was just the kind of conversation I have standing around talking to people, but it was a conversation we had at lunch. Goat's Head says, so-called civilization taking away our independence, man. Yeah, that's true. Hey, let's check in on our alerts. JB's Tech cheered 68 bits. Interesting. Conspicuously one less than the other number, or one more than the other number nowadays. I Slap Cat Butt says Big TP needs you to wipe to maintain their monopoly on the paper industry. Yeah, it's all rigged. BK69 says, is a bidet just an excuse to shoot water up your rear though? Awfully suspicious. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's more of what you would call a perquisite. Computer, what is a perquisite?
The noun, perquisite, can have a few meanings. 1. An incidental payment, benefit, privilege, or advantage over and above regular income, salary, or wages. 2. A gratuity or tip. 3. Something demanded or due as a particular privilege.
I would go with the second definition. Shooting water up the rear is sort of like a tip. It's like a little extra. I don't know. Okay, Dark Ages says, bidets are so necessary, I've got a little portable one for travel now. Wow, I didn't know you could have that. You're really into it. This is not too much information because the people need to know. Yeah, don't ever be ashamed of chiming in with any information, even if it's not even a little bit relevant, like if it's at a cooking show or something. Karmic715 says, Henry, are you a cruster? I'm not sure what that means, but probably. It's Kate X says, I think Big Bidet has infiltrated the chat. Yeah, this is starting to turn into an argument. Pug Lady, you're absolutely right. We're getting off. And it's time for us to get back on track. But thank you, Phaedrus, for this picture. It looked like it inspired a lot of debate in the chat. And debate drives views, and it helps the algorithm or whatever. Okay, Zeke 2025 gives us this picture of, is this your dog? Xekke, Zeke. What a cool dog. Thanks for sending a picture of this guy. I like it. Are you in your room? It's very cool. Goat Sheed says, I think about shit, therefore I am. That was a Descartes. René Descartes, the French philosopher. Nebulele says, that is a long dog. Well, it could be that they submitted in vertical aspect ratio and the computer automatically broadens it to fit the landscape. Okay, let's, speaking of animals, we have another picture of someone named Tina. And I'm going to find that picture right now. This is Hammy X Ham Hams. Hammy Ham Hams. Cat Tina just chilling on an afternoon. This is very cool. Thanks for sending this. Cats really do have that ability to chill so hard. And if we could all do that, that would be great. Can you imagine watching the evening news with this much level of chill? You know who else has that kind of chill? Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald, and you could see them in the Yacht Rock documentary. They both seem so chill. I don't know why that popped into my head, but I'm just kind of talking about anything that's coming out of my mouth. Okay, so on the theme, Nene sends us this picture of, I guess, is this a hamster? Neneh. Very nice. I love this. Thanks for sending your animals. We do have another song to do, so I'm going to try to find a background picture that's appropriate. Maybe this one from Capacious T will be a good background picture. Let's take a look. What's the song? Oh, yeah. Okay. So this one is from REM. This was their first breakout hit that I remember. Oh, thanks, Nena. Thanks for sending us that cool picture of your hamster. Let's see what else we've got here. Thanks, Capacious T. That's a great pick. Maui Girl sends us this one. This is really bizarre. Maybe this will be the one that we're going to use. Whoa, Fabio just donated $5.55. Amazing. Thanks, Fabio. Very kind of you. And there's a message here. It says, my friend said there's this hip new lingo where if you like someone's content, you get off to it. Like, quote, to get off of your couch to turn up the audio for it. Oh, I see. So yeah, you could say, I get off to your cooking. Okay, is that what that means? Because I've heard people say that. People have sent me some messages saying, I'd like to get a picture of you with your spatula cooking in your kitchen because I want to get off to it. So I think what you're saying is, that means I'm going to get off the couch and turn the audio up. It's that good. Now, that also is kind of weird that people wouldn't have a remote control in this day and age. Thick and Wing gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. Amazing. Thank you, Thick and Wing. Very kind of you. Thanks for your generosity. You're helping us keep the lights on here as well as all these subscribers and everything. Thank you, Thick and Wing. And if anybody's wondering how many, we have 340 subscribers, which is actually really good. So I want to thank you for that, Thick and Wing. Angry Penguin says, I wonder what they do with the head. Oh, with this? I'm not sure, but this is going to be the song, the background for the song that we're going to do. Hey, an Eclipse producer just donated 10 bits. Thank you so much, Eclipse producer. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Gonna have a sip of coffee. It's a good day, you guys. It's a really good day, and I hope you're having a good day. I want to talk to you more and check in with you, how things are going with you in the chat, your mental health. How are you doing? An Eclipse producer just gifted 2 Tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, Eclipse producer. Thanks for all the donations and the energy and the cheers and the bits and whatnot. And thanks for gifting those subs. That's very kind of you. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this song by the great REM. I think I'm just going to sing this in the regular range because I'm just feeling that way today. So let's see if we can. I think I can sing Michael Stipe. I can't sing the guy from Toto, but I can sing the Michael Stipe, I think. Because he was really more about his personality. It wasn't necessarily his vocal ability, but he was a good singer too. Okay, here we go. Who requested this one now? This was Capacious T, who gave us the last picture. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. Simple prompt to occupy my time. This one goes out to the one I love. Fire! Oh, goes out to the one I've left behind. Oh, I'm going to change the image here real quickly. We're going to go to, just going to pull up a random one here. This one. A simple prop to occupy my time. This one goes out to the one I love. Last verse, same as the first. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. Another prop has occupied my time. This one goes out to the one I love. Fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. I still remember that ending from 40 years ago, 30 years ago. Capacious T says it was so cold in Athens that Michael Stipe got gonorrhea just for the burning sensation. So he voluntarily went out there and got gonorrhea just so he could have that sensation of feeling the warmth, the burning. I didn't know that, but it's a good excuse that I might use sometime. Okay. Oh, Casual Fitzy says he's telling the keyboard player he's fired. Oh, I see. Boy, you would think they would do that outside of the recording session, but who knows? Nebulelli says, how powerful is your stream? Are you talking about bandwidth, or are you talking about one of those, the technology of my internet, or the power of my internet connection? Something technical like that? Or do you mean how powerful is it in terms of how influential is it? I think neither of them are great. Nebulelli says just overall strength. Not a whole lot. I'd probably say medium to low. Angry Penguin 922 simply just says P. Just writes the word P. For seemingly no reason whatsoever. And that's okay. Okay, everybody. Game Master Flash has joined us. What's up, Game Master Flash? Parasitosis says, I piss so hard it sounds like I'm frying chicken. Well, it sounds like you're peeing on a hot burning pan. Or you're pissing very hot piss. Karmic 715 says, Henry, I'm peeing right now. Can you sing louder? You can just turn the volume up, I think. Low Ram Advantage says, yeah, that's called seasoning. You're supposed to do that with cast iron. Okay, yeah, It's Kate X, you're right. It's Kate X says we're getting off again. We got to get back on track here. Let's go ahead then and change the picture. Gumme Kande sent us a beautiful picture of presumably the American Northwest region with a couple of birds there. Watch out for that ice. It looks powdery and fluffy, but when you try to fall in it, it's ice and it's hard as a rock. Empty Astronaut says, have a good night. Vision when I pee. Oh, no, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. It says, I have good night vision when I pee. I looked at it like you were saying good night. WTF says September is National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Okay. Well, anybody over 50 is very much aware of it. So I don't know what the point is of having a month about it, but maybe there's people under 50 that aren't aware of it. Either way, I don't want to sound cynical. I think that's a good thing to be aware of that phenomenon. Okay, Regular Benji. Wow. Regular Benji said this picture of a hawk was taken by their dad, I think. What a beautiful picture. This kind of makes me want to grab a camera and go out with it. If I had my zoom lens still, I could really zoom in. Because I would imagine if you got too close to this guy, he's going to run away. But look at the determination. Look at the amazing sensation of strength that's coming from this creature. Actually, I've seen people watching TV that look like the same level of intensity, so it's not that big of a deal. But this is a great picture. You can really see the detail. It's beautiful. Hammy X Hams says he's thinking about playing GTA 6. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, everybody. Mr. Dink's Vibrator says, looks like a beast that knows it doesn't have to cook its meals. Inner peace. Yeah. They don't have to cook for some reason. They didn't evolve to be I don't know what the word was. I almost said intoxicated, but to be averse to uncooked meals. Okay, everybody. Joker23CS says, Henry, do you think I'm going to go to heaven when I die? That opens up a whole can of worms, a whole Pandora's box, if you will, of conversation that we do have to cook the thing that we're doing here today. So I've got these ingredients getting cold or getting warm, whichever one it is. But this is what we're making today. So we'll get to your question later about whether or not you're going to go to heaven. Karmic715 says, Henry, do birds touch themselves? No, I don't think so. I don't know how they would be able to do that. Okay, everybody, we're getting into an area that's not my level of expertise, my forte, if you will. Okay, let's go ahead and thank you for this awesome picture. One more time, the name. I think it was Benji. Regular Benji. As opposed to Famous Benji, which would be the dog. Okay. Here we are. Not much going on here. Just this, of course, is my Canon zoom lens that, oh fuck. I'm just kidding, everybody. It's actually a coffee mug, but it's made to look like a zoom lens. Did I fool anybody with that? Any photographers freak out there for a second? Dark Ages says, Henry, that freaked me out so much. Dark Ages, our resident photographer. I'm so glad that worked. I got this from the folks at, and I want to give a shout out. Germa gave us a shout out, so I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to the guys at VAT19 YouTube channel. About 12 years ago, I went on there and cooked with them, and they gave me this as a gift, and I still have it. I loved it. Lacey T says, Dark actually gasped. That's great. I'm so glad I was able to get one over on you guys. We should do more stuff like that. Okay, we've got some other alerts coming down the pike. Joker23CS says, we love you, Henry. Thanks, Joker23CS. Thank you very much for your subscription. Thanks, Capacious T, for requesting that song and also for your donation of 6 bits. And BK69 subscribed for 4 months. Thank you so much. Butt Smasher Masher says, I wish you were that fortunate with the sign. Yeah, the sign was a real version of that. That one was not a joke, unfortunately. We fucked up the Henry's Kitchen sign. I say we, like it's all of us, but it was pretty much me. Okay. Capacious T says, I think the sign has character now that it's perfect. That is perfect. We're all a little broken. Yeah, I mean, how boring of a world would it be if everything was just perfect everywhere? I don't like that kind of a world. Okay, so let's go ahead. Bill Kunstler says yes. Dude Tranquil says we all had a hand in it. Yeah, I think you probably all did. Pug Lady 2600 says, I think you freaked out the river bison too. The river bison. Reverb is on. Reverb is on. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. I left the reverb on. Thanks, Pug Lady, for that coded language there. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Check 1, 2. I left the reverb on. And also, Moist Testicles says, hi, Henry Kitchen. It's Henry's Kitchen, but yeah, thank you. Hi, back to you, Moist Testicles. Thanks for joining us today. Empty Astronaut says, the worst part of cooking is cleaning afterward. Yes. Oh, I would definitely say that. And the other part that sucks is just the cooking part, too. Deadly Spiders says, true. Oh, Metalist69 says that the reverb definitely enhanced the sound of the lens of the mug hitting the ground. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad that worked. Okay, everybody. You Fear Jazz says, I thought your name was Henry Kitchen. No, it's Henry's possessive apostrophe. I almost said apostacles because I was reading that Anonymous gifted Harry Testicles a tier 1 sub. Thanks, everybody. Okay, everybody. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing today. I went to a website called The Pioneer Woman. We've used her recipes before. She's going to teach us how to make panko. Panko, of course, is Japanese for bread crumbs. Computer, how do you say breadcrumbs in Japanese?
Breadcrumbs in Japanese is panko.
Okay, so my pronunciation was a little bit off, but basically panko. The Chicken Wing, or Thicken Wing, just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, the Thicken Wing. Very kind of you to gift that 5 tier 1 subs. And let's go ahead and start making this situation here. It's breadcrumbs, but I don't know why, if there's a difference between the Japanese ones. And let's try that pronunciation one more time because I want to get it right. Computer, how do you say breadcrumbs in Japanese?
Breadcrumbs in Japanese is panko.
Panko. Parasitosis says Japanese bread is not the same. Actually, is that true? Computer, do Japanese have the same bread as we do here in the Northern Hemisphere?
From Quora.com. Shokupan, Pondo Molda, baked bread, is a particular kind of moist, chewy, sweet square bread that is unique to Japanese culture, and while there are not many breads with the same shape and texture overseas, there are similar ones like white bread and pan de molda.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what I got out of that, but all right. Well, what we're going to be using here today is sort of a combination between Japanese bread and Western bread, which is called Mediterranean bread, and this is some old, and it's purposely old and stale pita bread that we're going to be using for this recipe, because I got the recipe to try to figure out what do you do with your old stale bread. And you can make pain perdu, of course, lost toast, or some people call it French toast. That's sort of the basic way to say it. But this is another thing you can do. You can make breadcrumbs. So let's start getting right into it. This is from the Pioneer Woman. Please tell me you've tried panko breadcrumbs. They're lighter, airier, crispier, and larger than traditional breadcrumbs, and just the ticket for coating almost anything, from fish to French toast. Panko originated in Japan. One feature you may notice about panko is that it's white, or very pale ivory. It was once made with a special white bread, but now, according to the New York Times, Japanese panko makers use machines that spray unbaked bread directly onto heated iron sheets and bake it into shards. So maybe the method is a slightly difficult one to recreate at home. I have another way to show you. You'll start with white bread. Of course, we're going to be using a pita. Don't get fancy here. Regular old sliced white bread is perfect. Approximately half a loaf. We're only using one. Cut off the crusts. We don't have crust. Cut those squares in half and use the grater disc on your food processor to grate the bread. Okay, so I have a food processor, but I don't think we need to use that. I think we can just use a cheese grater. I don't see why we wouldn't do that. Okay. Spread the crumbs onto a rimmed baking sheet and bake for 10 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to have to turn on the oven here. Going to use a parchment paper. So we're literally spreading the crumbs onto a baking sheet and we're going to cook for 10 minutes. The goal is for every crumb to be dry and crispy, but not browned. Interesting. So does it not want us then to put a little bit of butter on there or something? I'm surprised. Let the crumbs cool. Once they're cooled, they're ready for storage. If you don't have a food processor, you can still make pankish breadcrumbs. The texture will be light, but the crumb will be smaller. That's okay. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and get to work here. Get my hands ready for this. So we're basically grating it similar to how we would grate cheese. You don't need a fancy electronic device like the food processor. That's a little bit excessive for this. Beanie Bobini says, careful, Henry. It's okay. I think I'm being careful because it's kind of difficult to really do too much damage to yourself with a regular cheese grater. Four-wheelers say, don't cramp up. Warm-ups are important. Yeah, I'll probably cramp up. Game Master Flash says, what the fuck? How is he doing this? I know. I've been doing this a very long time, so I'm probably making it look a little easier than it normally is. And don't worry, I'm going to remove these larger bits of bread because they have no place in what we're doing here. And if you're worried about time, don't worry. We've still got probably another 10 minutes before the oven is completely warmed up. Okay, this is all kind of coming apart there. This is working. This is good. Jack Dostal says, you'd be surprised. I grated skin with that thing before. You mean you grated skin, your own skin by accident? Or do you mean that you grated like potato skin or something? You Fear Jazz says, the new Evil Dead movie would disagree. Oh boy, the movie Weapons has a potato peeler scene in it that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to look at a potato peeler the same way again. It was a great movie though. Bunger Love says, is this what people mean when they say they are being bred? I didn't know they say they're being bred. Oh, you mean maybe B-R-E-D. Okay, there we go. That's going to be enough. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove the large bits. They have no place in our panko. Okay. Let's take these out. Computer, how much time is left on our timer?
There are no timers set.
I was pretty sure I set a timer. No? We're going to have to run the tape back and see if I set a timer, but I'm almost positive that I did. But I've been kind of arguing with my computer lately, so I don't want to be wrong about anything. Okay, let's spread these out nice, like so. And let's put them in the oven. I Slap Cat Butt says, Henry, you have 12 minutes left on your timer. Okay, thanks. And what does it say that we want to use here? Or how long we want to put it in? 12 minutes. Okay. Computer, set timer for 20 minutes, or sorry, 12 minutes.
12 minutes, starting now.
Okay, now it's time for us in the meantime to start prepping our egg. I'll show you once again what we're making here today. That's not it. God. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is what we're making. There's sort of sunny side up eggs, but with panko. And theirs is very neat. I don't know that ours is going to need to be that neat because we're not serving it in some kind of restaurant situation or anything. You know, if you're worried about wasting the bread, just eat the bread. All right. Let's go ahead and crack our eggs up. I should have another thing here. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to try the herbes de Provence along with our kosher Mediterranean sea salt from Sprouts and our Black & Decker pecker grinder. And we're going to take our eggs. Let's put them here. That's one. Try not to get any shell in there, but if you do get shell in there, make sure that it falls on the inside so you don't have to clean it up afterward. Beanie's taken off. Am I seeing that? What's going on here? It says here, Beanie Bo Beanie says, bye, users. Have a great day, everyone. Hey, thanks, Beanie Bo Beanie. Thanks again for that amazing coffee. Hope you're doing well. And this is, I think we got it from here. But that Beanie Bo Beanie is our intern. So thanks very much for joining us. MXC Donut 1 says, I noticed you're using brown eggs, Henry. Are they better than white eggs? They have a little bit of a nicer flavor to them. Esoteric Erebos says, do I have to have a pecker to use the pecker grinder? I don't know if I understand. Butt Smasher Masher says, thanks for posting the Germa clip, Beanie. Yeah, that was awesome. I can't wait to see that. Okay, everybody. So now we're going to season our egg bowl. So let me grab a whisker. Oh. Not sure why that matters, but let's put in a little bit of our salt. Oh, fuck. I didn't take the cap off. Got egg all over this stupid salt cap. I don't know why they even put a cap on the salt. Salt doesn't go bad, I don't think. Computer, does salt go bad?
Table salt can usually last at room temperature indefinitely. Salt is typically stored in the pantry, though it can be kept in the fridge. However, you should always pay attention to expiration dates on packages and spoilage signs in your food.
Well, yeah, but... Yeah, there's literally no reason. If you haven't used your salt by 2028 and you bought it in 2022, the problem is you. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing with this. Are you fucking kidding me now? Why are there caps? I keep on... Nobody should ever put a cap on a... Computer, does pepper go bad?
Pepper usually can last in the fridge for 1 to 2 weeks, and in the freezer for 6 to 8 months. To store in the fridge, place into a plastic bag in the vegetable crisper. Once opened, pepper usually can last for 2 to 3 days in the fridge. To store in the fridge, place into a sealed container or plastic bag with a paper towel.
Computer, stop. I'm not doing all that shit with my pepper. As far as I know, pepper lasts a lot longer than 3 days in the fridge. Holy shit. Okay. Now we'll put that in there. Now I'm going to obviously remove the cap from this one. This is our Air de Provence. Thicken Wing. Just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Thicken Wing. Let's see if there's a message here. And then did it again. You've done it twice. Thicken Wing, thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you to gift all those subs. We're really killing it in the sub department. We have 357 subscribers, and I'd say that's pretty damn good. Thank you for that, Thicken Wing, and for everybody who's subscribing. Utvol14 says, Henry, do you have any tips for cracking eggs for beginner chefs? I almost choked on a piece of shell time last time I tried. Okay, yeah. It took me many, many years to finally master the art of cracking eggs. One thing is for sure, when you are cracking them, crack it on the inside of the bowl. I've been doing it so long, I know how to kind of err on the side of getting it in, because the last thing you want is for that shell to fall over onto your cooking board, and now you've got all kinds of cleanup to do. If you crack it on the inside, all of everything is going to fall where you want it to be. Computer, is it okay to eat a little bit of eggshell now and then?
Okay, for eggshell, I recommend stuffed shells from Tasty. What would you like? Start recipe, save recipe, send to phone, add to list, or hear next recipe?
We are living in a corporate hellscape. Esoteric Erebos says, can a white boy eat a little eggshell? I would imagine. Tony Spumoni says, computer. Nebulelli, Henry, does me being a woman require different egg cracking techniques? Should I use a knife? Do I need a face mask? I don't think that there's a difference in the technique, varying according to your gender. Angry Penguin 922 says computer works for Big Egg. Yeah, that was a weird answer. Sean7727 says, Henry, can I say something next? Absolutely, Sean. What would you like to say? Game Master Flash says, I thought the eggs were going to be sunny side up. Oh. Fuck. And I don't have any more eggs. These were my last 2 eggs. You're absolutely right. Sean7727 says, thanks, Henry. Yeah, if you look at the picture... Okay, so I definitely screwed this up. I just so instinctively started scrambling my eggs because that's usually how I do them. But there's no way we're going to have it look like that today. It's just impossible to separate all the yolk from the egg whites. So we're going to have more of a scrambled version of it today. One thing I'd like to say, just a general note about errors in the kitchen. Everybody's going to fuck up. There's no way even the best chefs in the world, whoever they are, you know, Julia Child, Gordon Ramsay, whatever, they probably do the same fuck ups that I do. You know, they probably put a casserole in the oven for an hour and then realize they forgot to turn the oven on, or they turned the oven on in the microwave because it was attached to the same unit and didn't realize that they didn't put the oven on, they put the microwave on. Or they might have tried to use a butter knife to cut like a steak, or there's all kinds of dumb things that they probably do, just like me. But the important part is, what do you do once you realize you've made the error? Do you fix the error, or do you figure out a way that you can make that error turn into something even better? So that's kind of what just happened here. We are not making this because we can't now. We fucked it up. But what we're going to come up with is going to be original and unique. And that's got to be good for something, right? Empty Astronaut says, we're making panko eggs a la hen. Yeah, that's exactly right. Angry Penguin says, we are pioneering panko. Yeah, we're making our own thing. Computer, how much time do we have left?
You have 1 minute and 40 seconds left on your 12-minute timer.
Okay, just a couple of questions. A couple more questions. Angry Penguin says, it has to do with which side you crack them on. Oh, are you talking about the eggs? Sparkling Water Tastes Bad says, if you only whisk eggs clockwise, you can counter is to unwhisk them. Wait, if you only whisk clockwise, you can counter is to unwhisk them. Okay. All right. Gordon Ramsay screwed his grilled cheese. That's a comment that I just saw from McFlurry Mac. That's good to know. You know, when you see pros like me or Gordon Ramsay or whatever, if you combine the net worth of Gordon Ramsay with mine, it's somewhere into the millions of dollars. His is actually a little less if you combine mine with his. WTF says that only works in Australia. Okay. Computer, how much time left?
You have 20 seconds left on your 12-minute timer.
Well, in that case, I would say it's time to get prepped. Computer, stop. I'm going to let that heat up a little bit, and we're going to grab our panko. We just need to get something that we can use to grab it. I guess I could use this towel. No, I'm not going to use a towel. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm going to let that cool just a little bit. Meantime, I'm going to butter our frying pan situation. If you live all by yourself, you can do stuff like this with your butter. They always say if you have a really good saute pan, you really don't need someone to share your life with. Okay? Now, how are we going to make something like what they did here? Well, I'm going to go to the website. We're going to go to a different website now. This one is called The Kitchen with no E. It's just kitchen. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Breakfast will always be the best meal of the day. This is what it says here on The Kitchen. It has the power to determine what kind of morning you're going to have, therefore influencing your entire day. As someone who doesn't really eat until it's well into lunchtime territory, I strenuously disagree. For most people, the star ingredient of any breakfast is eggs. Eggs are the complement in many different types of recipes and can be prepared in a wide variety of ways to accommodate a myriad of tastes. Personally, I love a good runny fucking egg just as much as some silky scrambled eggs or an omelet. But there is just something about a fucking warm, runny yolk acting as a complement to the rest of the meal that is exactly what I love. This guy's language is way over the top. About a properly prepared fried egg. Okay? And it goes on for several pages here. So let's see how we do this. I don't see the jump to recipe part. Okay. Start by adding 3/4 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs to a skillet. Half a cup of Parm cheese. We have Parm cheese. Mix the cheese and the breadcrumbs together and then add herbes de Provence, stoked paprika, and 2 tablespoons of cumin. Alright, a lot of work here. Let's try this though. Our panko should be nice and cooled off by now. Okay, and let's get some grated Parm in there. I'm just kind of guesstimating how much grated Parm. It says here half a cup. That's way too much. We'll just do a little bit more. Okay. And now it wants stoked paprika. Which I actually have here. Oh, my autofocus doesn't work now. Can anything else go wrong here at Henry's Kitchen? Just use a little bit of that. And then next up, we're going to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Acevedo oil for this because this one is a little bit... Computer, what's the advantage of using Acevedo oil as opposed to olive oil?
From momswhothink.com. Avocado oil has gained popularity due to its flavor and nutritional qualities. Since it has a higher smoke point, avocado oil is a better choice when cooking at high temperatures. Both oils have their benefits and play essential roles in cooking and health.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, really. Okay, so now we want to stir this up. We want to flip the breadcrumbs while heating them up until they're golden brown. Looking good, I gotta say. Oh wait, did we even add our herbes de Provence? Oh yeah, that's going to be in our egg. I'm starting to get a little confused here. Once you've reached a nice golden color, yeah, create 4 spaces for the eggs and coat each space with a splash of olive oil. Well, how many eggs does it want here? Let's find out. Well, we've got our... So they've got 3. So we're going to divide everything by 3. So let's just do 2. God. Create 4 spaces. But we're just going to do 2 spaces. This part requires a little bit of talent, so it's going to be a little more difficult. I'm going to put a little bit of oil there. I hope people are still watching. And now we're going to pour our egg into it, into the holes. And then I've got some extra there. Something like that. And then how long does it want us to leave it there? Cover the skillet with a leg, with your leg. Oh, with the lid. And then you'll want to keep an eye on them. You don't want them to be overcooked. When you're ready, remove the eggs from the heat and sprinkle with your desired amount of black pepper, salt, and parm. Serve immediately. Okay, so I think we're pretty close here. I'm just going to do a couple of the dishes here. I always think it's a good idea to do the dishes while you're cooking, because that is a more efficient usage of your time. And I'm not going to wash the dishes, but I'm going to just put them aside. I think we're done with the butter here. All right, let me check in with you guys. Dr. Jerky says it's a French crumble omelet. Okay. Empty Astronaut says, I'm learning a new things today. Yeah, well, I hope so. Gabe Evolved says, I have a feeling this is going to be fucking delicious. I sure hope so. It smells pretty good. Inhuman V says, that looks perfect, Henry. Okay, great. Clean up as you go, the sign of a true chef, says WTF. Yep. I agree. Eclipse Producer says it won't taste the same anymore. I'm not sure about that. I think it'll taste the same. The same as what, you mean? Butt Smasher Masher cheered 100 bits and says, Henry, can you give me tips on how to make a knuckle sandwich? I also heard that the steak bite from Arby's are raccoon knuckles. I've never had the steak bite at Arby's, but they make a damn good roast beef sandwich along with something called horsey sauce. Mimsy Coon says, Henry, I am getting a puppy in 21 days. Does she have your blessing? Absolutely. You and that puppy will have a very long, wonderful life together, and I think that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Mimsy Coon. Puppies are the best, along with kittens and all other animals, I would say. Caitlin's Kitchen says it's true. I managed an Arby's franchise until I burned it down in 95. Wow. Arby's is, if you ever get a chance, if you're ever driving through the state of New Mexico, just south of Farmington, New Mexico, about 60 miles, there's a 2-lane road, and it's in the middle of frickin' nowhere. There's just nothing but tumbleweed anywhere, occasional hitchhiker or something. But they have an Arby's roast beef sandwich, and their horsey sauce is to die for. Bill Kunstler says, are you sponsored yet by Arby's? Yes. That's probably explains that. Okay. I forgot all about our food here, so let's see how we're doing. Okay. I think this is cooked. I think it's time. Let's turn this off. I'm just really going for presentation. I'm still going to eat that other part, but trying to make it look like the picture. Okay. Yababa. Thank you for subscribing, Yababa. And Esoteric Erebos gifted a tier 1 sub to Joey Guy 1. Thank you very much to both of you. Okay. Yeah. Angry Penguin says, that's some good-looking chicken breast. No, this is my omelet, or this is my panko eggs. If you want to see the picture, that's theirs. But remember, we didn't do it sunny side up because we forgot. By we, I mean me. Me forgot. Okay, so ours looks a little sadder, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. Hey, I want to thank Sean7727 for gifting a tier 1 sub to Cummin. Thank you very much for that gift of the tier 1 sub. There we go. All right, well, I think it might be time to eat this. And yeah, Tommy 2 times says, looks tasty. McFlurry Mac says the original is AI generated. Yeah, they always do that. They always use all this technology to make it look awesome. But the reality is, there is not a shot in hell that you would be able to make food that looks like that in real life. It just simply can't be done. So they either use Photoshop or sometimes they'll use AI or whatever. But this is what it looks like in real life when people make it. Invisible Man 94 subscribed. Thank you very much. And A Real Human Being gifted a tier 1 sub to Breaded Eggs. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you, a real human being. Okay, and then what's this? Mimsy Coon says Invisible Man with the Prime. Invisible Man 94 did a tier 1 sub with the Prime. So thank you very much for that. All right, I'm going to eat this and let's see how it goes. My immediate feeling is I might have put too much Acavado oil on it because it's a little oily. But you know what? I think we made good use of that stale pita bread. There's something a little funky in it. I don't know if it's the pita bread or did we do everything correctly with the spices. But not bad. This is not bad at all. This is a good way to funk up your eggs in the morning, you know. It takes a long time. I don't know if it's worth it. You might just want to just put eggs in there with some herbs and some, what do you call it? What else do we do? Oh, some cheese, some Parmesan cheese. But yeah, we funked this up. A Real Human Being gifted a tier 1 sub to Excellent Cooking. Thank you so much, A Real Human Being. Gummy candy. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to say this is just fine. I'm not going to say it's fucking delicious. I don't even know if I'd say it's pretty good. I'm just going to say it's fine. It's not making me feel like I'm at a restaurant, which is what we had. When we made Granapplegurt sandwiches this last time, those were a whole kind of different story. But this is right in the middle there. Angry Penguin 922 says, Henry, what is your favorite song among all of your and Jose Suicidio's discography? That's a good question. I would probably say Help Me from Jose Suicidio. Remember, I can't lay claim to the songs that Jose Suicidio writes, especially since a lot of them are stolen melodies from other pop songs. Like Help Me is very similar to Space Oddity by David Bowie. Is that what it's called? So for legal purposes, I'm never going to say that I write those songs, but I will say that I do enjoy those songs, and I commission them for the Henry's Kitchen series. Windhuffer says, I YouTubed it, and now Google wants me to call a suicide hotline. Yeah. Look, in the very beginning, it made sense for Jose Suicidio to refer to himself that way. It's turning into a little bit of a sensitive situation, like everything does as you move through time. Suddenly it's difficult. But that was sort of a term that we would use around Henry's Kitchen. And by we, I mean me. Shardy Fardum says, I would say it's better than Space Oddity. Yeah, I would say so as well. Dazzlecat says it should be changed to Jose Unaliviado. Yeah, Unaliviado. Yeah, to sort of update it. Okay, everybody, I think it's time to do our thank you song. Let me grab the guitar. We made mediocre eggs today. Thank you, Eclipse Producer. Thanks to everybody. Thanks for all the subscriptions and the gift subs and the bits and all this other stuff. And then the actual donations and everything. I appreciate it. And we're going to turn the reverb back on. And I'm going to do a song to thank you the users of Henry's Kitchen, whether it's using the platform Discord or using YouTube or using Twitch, whatever, anything you have a username for, you are a user, or even using illegal drugs, I'm not judging you. Tar Heel Cole 13 says, is Jose singing in the Olympic opening ceremonies? I'm not sure. There is a rumor about that, but I'm not sure. Why don't we do this song, this thank you song, to the tune? And yeah, Mimsy Coon, you do get mentioned. I think you're in the tier 3 subscribers. So this is to the tune of Jose Suicidio's Help Me. That's a E minor with an added 9 for anybody who cares. Far Cannon Dingo Bob, Dom Beef Hot Bear 1110, do Dingle Dog Oggle, Dr. Flanges and Bacchus, Shane Yes Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, It's Kate Kairos, Bumble Vision and the LGX, Chef Reactions, Husky Boyo and Bill Larkin Music, The Toily, Nim, Moon, Emaru, Orca Mind, S-Band and Bonnie, Dazzle Kepler, Little Quest and Borsenven, Nella Parasitosis, and don't forget Quanto and Beanie Bobini. D's Nuts, Game Master Flash, Mimsy Coon, the Cat Food Taste Tester, the Cheer Next, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Essity Tis, Michelle Heffy, Dazzle Cat and Zodbane, Toke My Nuts, Squirrel Burrito 55555, Dinosaur JP's Text, Sickly Boy, BLSB, Handlips 1, Caitlin's Kitchen, Embry 225, and Yarchasm, Nico Tezo, Michael Bublé 4422, and Potato Cat Breeder, Passion Era Minhoshin 64, Midnight Faded, JSPX Fan, Esseditus, Poolboy 789. Wait, we should do a shot of this. Lacey T, Purple Donut Filling is Frue, Tankard and Borson, Zodiac Tone, Gary Busey ASMR, Shandis Nova Glarian, Mr. Gooseberry VT, and don't forget Quanto. Thank you, the users of Henry's Kitchen, for making all of this, everything that you see here at Henry's Kitchen, for making it possible. This was just a dream. Even at the beginning of the show, we only dreamed of making this food, but we actually wound up doing it in real life. And that's really what cooking is. It's making dreams come true. We're dream makers and food eaters. Okay, everybody. Well, I want to thank you very much for spending your Sunday with me here at Henry's Kitchen. I hope you try this. Definitely start, in the morning with your eggs. Just crumble up some bread and fry them up with some Acevedo oil. I think you'll find that it funks them up a little bit, and that's sort of what we did here today. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And Beelzebub says, just got home. Can you start over? No, unfortunately we can't start over, but there is the front page of the Twitch channel, and on YouTube you can watch the DVDs of the broadcast, so you can do that. All right, thanks, Capacious T. Thanks, Beelzebub, Angry Penguin. Thanks so much for your comments and for your gift subs, your bits, the whole situation. Thanks everybody for everything. And I just hope you have a great week, a great rest of your weekend, a great week. Thanks, It's Kate, for everything you do. Game Master Fash, Parasitosis, Beelzebub, Pug Lady. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and don't forget, I'm going to be in St. Louis, Missouri in 3 weeks at the Blue Strawberry, beautiful little venue in St. Louis's Central West End, February 22nd. You can get tickets at henryphillips.com in the tour dates section or at henrys.kitchen. And I'm also going to be in Chicago March 1st. So come out to one of the gigs. We always have a good time. Somebody asked me recently if I come out and meet the audience. I not only meet with the audience, I hang out with them and drink beers and stuff. Like, we have a really good time afterwards. So come on out and enjoy. Chicago, it's going to be incredible. St. Louis. Angry Penguin 922, who's your Super Bowl pick, Henry? I'm probably going to have to go with... Well, I usually go by which food. So Boston, I believe their big food is clam chowder, which is kind of a weird thing to serve at your Super Bowl party. And Seattle, I believe their big thing is smoked salmon. It's really tough to pick which one would be better. Parasitosis says chowder. Yeah, oh, the chunk says the Boston cream donut. Yeah, that probably sells me on that. I really don't have a dog in this proverbial race, so I really can't say. And I don't want half the people to hate me for something that I don't really care one way or the other about. Okay, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. Have a good one.